All right, let's talk about something fascinating today. Something that I bet is going to feel super familiar to a lot of you. It's this idea of the so-called cursed IQ range. We're going to unpack what that really means and why it's so darn relatable. Okay, so let me just ask you something. You ever find yourself staring at a problem and you can see it from like 10 different directions at once? You get the nuances, the history, all the moving parts, but when it comes down to finding that one single perfect fix, you just get stuck. Yeah, if you're nodding your head right now, you are definitely not alone. It's an incredibly frustrating place to be, right? It's like you're always on the very edge of a breakthrough, but it never actually comes. And that's what we're here to do today, to give that feeling a name and make sense of it. What's wild is that this very specific feeling can actually be mapped to a particular cognitive zone. So let's get into the diagnosis. We're going to try and put a number on this experience, not to box you in, but to help you understand what's going on. So first things first, let's set a quick baseline. We're talking about above average intelligence here. And listen, this isn't just about being a walking encyclopedia of facts. It's about your brain's processing power, the ability to see patterns where others don't, to understand really complex, abstract ideas, and to do it fast. So what is this range? Well, the zone that people talk about is an IQ somewhere between 120 and 130. But look, the number itself, that's not really the point. What's crucial to get here is that this isn't some grade you get on a test. It's much more like an operating system for your brain, one that comes with some really incredible features and, well, a few bugs. It's a total double-edged sword. And this brings us right to the heart of it all, the central tension that really defines this whole experience. It's this constant internal battle between what you can see and what you can actually solve. So let's break this down. On the one side, you've got this incredible ability to see the entire system, right? You connect dots nobody else even knows are there. But then, there's the other side of the coin. You might lack that final genius-level spark to find the perfect solution. It's like you're this master mechanic, right? You can pop the hood and diagnose exactly what's wrong with the engine, but you don't have the tools or the keys or even the permission to fix it. And that is just so frustrating. So what happens when you're constantly in this state of seeing problems you can't solve? Well, you get trapped. It leads to this exhausting psychological cycle that we can call the overthinking loop. And I bet this looks familiar. Step 1, you spot a complex problem. Step 2, your brain instantly kicks into high gear, deep analysis mode. Step 3, you hit that wall. No single clean solution pops out, which leads directly to step 4. You just churn on it. You ruminate, you overthink, you get analysis paralysis, and here's the kicker. All that rumination just drags you right back to step 1, making the problem seem even bigger, and the whole loop starts over again. I know. This all sounds pretty draining, right? Maybe a little bit like a curse. But this is where we flip the script. Because the point of understanding all this isn't to feel bad about it. It's about moving from that feeling of being cursed to a place of real clarity. This quote just hits the nail on the head. The burden is seeing the world in high definition without the power to edit it. Think about that. The problem isn't your intelligence. It's not knowing the user manual for how your intelligence works. And just being able to name this pattern, that's the first huge step toward managing it. And honestly, if you take one thing away today, let it be this. Your brain is not broken. It doesn't need to be fixed. This is all about learning its operating system. Because once you know you're prone to this loop, you gain this superpower to catch yourself, to consciously step out of it, and maybe even to accept a good enough solution sometimes. So I want to leave you with a question to think about. Now that you have a name for this pattern, now that you can see the loop while it's happening, how might that change things for you? How might you approach those big, complicated problems differently, knowing that the goal isn't always finding a perfect solution, but maybe just gaining a clearer understanding?